For the second time in as many weeks, a grand jury has found the evidence is just not there to charge a white police officer in connection with the death of a black civilian.
Tonight, after an unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by police in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson, Missouri.
As he pulled up on the side of us, he didn't say freeze, halt, or nothing like we were committing a crime. He said, get the F on the sidewalk.
Sometimes if I go in the store, I've seen women like snatch their purse from one side of their arm and put it on the other side.
Warren Buffett, I think, said it the clearest. He said, we're in a class war, and we've been in a class war for years, and my class is winning. And who is his class? The owning class.
What kind of nonsense is that?
This white culture and racist culture that we live in, it's just bound to get you in one way or another.
Lately there's been a lot of attention and talks about racism and racial profiling in the law enforcement because it's a real thing. It's a very real thing.
Police disproportionately targeted African Americans with 85% of vehicle stops, 90% of citations, and 93% of arrests, even though 67% of the Ferguson population is black. And
the prejudice that police officers have towards African Americans, which has been proved time and time again through the disproportionate stops on the street, to police brutality, to killings of unarmed African American citizens, and the acquittals of the people who killed them. That whole culture, that ideal, that prejudice that is so prevalent in society today is only contributing to the bigger picture of racism in America.
President of the California State Bar says a police officer followed him into his driveway late one evening and asked if he lived in the house.
He then asked what I thought was the second question, could you tell me the address of where you pulled into?
It's not just police that are guilty of racial profiling. It happens every day with just normal people. I saw these people had set up these two actors, a white teen and a black teenager, and they had this bike that was chained to a post, and they had hidden cameras and everything. And first they would show the white teenager trying to break into it and see how the public would react. And the whole time people were just walking by, just looking at him, thinking, oh, maybe he lost his keys, or maybe this is his bike and he just needs to get into it. And then once they put the black teenager doing the same thing, he has a whole crowd around him, assuming, that he's stealing the bike.
Is that your bike?
One man whips out a cell phone to call 911.
Yeah, can't just come in and take something from somebody.
Guys stealing the bike. Whose bike's over there? And where it begins, the racial profiling by police, black people, black faces being shown in mugshots, news reports every single day. That correlation puts this idea into people's heads that when you see a black person on the street, he's more likely to look more suspicious, or more likely to be up to no good, or more likely to be stealing a bike, than a white person would. And personally, from a viewpoint of an African American, I don't even need these statistics or these facts to know that racism is still very much alive, because I experience it almost on a daily basis. Police officers will look at me longer, look at me funny, like trying to make sure I'm not doing anything bad. Sometimes I'll walk, even on campus at night, and I'll walk past a car that's parked. And as I walk past it, I can hear the click of the lock. It's small things like that just prove it's still an issue. There's really no easy solution to this problem of racial profiling and racism in general, but it's got to start somewhere. I think the problem is that people don't realize how easy it is to racially profile someone, how easy it is to be racist and not even know that you're being racist.
And my automatic thought is to think, black people, they're so loud, or black people this or black people that. And it's wrong.
I think people need to be more aware of that. And the more people are aware of that, then we can start, making steps towards putting this in the past and maybe one day, this racial profiling won't even be an issue anymore. Hopefully racism in the future will be non-existent.